Fireworks. 15. Why is the image like flowing? Oh my gosh, that's so gruesome. That's so gruesome. Oh, I hate it. Oh. After 2 days of the wagon, we finally reached Liang on the third day. Liang was where we were supposed to end up. Originally, Tang and I were supposed to bring 4 lambs here. But things changed. I killed Tang. 3 lambs were sent away and settled, which is fine, they're already safe. Now it's just me and Mansui. We got off the wagon at a desolate spot a few miles from Luoyang and trekked towards the city. After about an hour, I spotted the city in the distance. Luoyang's walls are massive, standing over 10 feet tall and giving off a sturdy, imposing vibe. The walls are made of altering blue bricks while the gates are striking red. At this moment, the city gates stood open, with people coming and going continuously. I silently rejoiced that Luoyang wasn't sealed up like Jizu, saving us a lot of trouble. However, there were some changes around the city, possibly due to the rebellion. A new wall, about 1 yard high, had been built outside the city walls, appearing freshly constructed, perhaps erected to fend off potential conflicts. Luoyang is still far from the northern invaders, so it seems this construction is more about dealing with rebellions. Oof.
你们从哪儿来的？
Wazoo.
这么远，有录影吗？
Sure, here it is. I handed the guard a pass for my package, and he squinted at it for a
果
moment.
真是画中来的。旁边这小姑娘是你什么人？
My sister.
行，进城吧。你们兄妹俩年龄都差得大。
There's a lot of history, you know. The guard eyed us suspiciously, but decided to let us in without further ado. Holding Mansui's hand, I guided her through the Li Jing gate and into Luoyang. The streets in Luoyang were wider than any we'd seen before. We walked along a big road connecting east and west with lots of shops on both sides, including tea houses, taverns, medicine shops, and pawn shops. When we turned right at the corner, we stepped into a livelier market area. There were more people here, and we passed butcher shops, fish stalls, and all sorts of stores lining the streets. In addition to the shops, there were vendors under umbrellas in the open spaces, and people were always coming and going. Some were bargaining, others were sitting under the trees to keep cool, and some were hauling good with ox carts. There were women buying groceries, scholars with scarves, traveling merchants, and you could even spot some bodyguards with hidden weapons.
王爷，洛阳好热闹啊！
It is indeed. I remember it being even busier last time, with crowds everywhere, making it hard to walk. But these years, with all the disaster and famine, people have less money, so everywhere isn't as lively anymore. Outside Mansui, thinking back the old times in Luoyang. Yeah, there used to be more folks around and fewer look so
王
troubled.
爷，我们先去哪儿呢？
Let's find an inn first, drop off our stuff, then we can explore.
好啊，
He nodded in agreement. We kept walking ahead, passing through the busy market until we reached a quieter street. Temples and shrines lined both sides on the road. After walking east for a bit, we arrived at the inn. This inn was different from ones in Huazhou and Shazhou. It wasn't the usual spot for persons like us engaged in shady dealings. Just a regular inn that I wasn't too familiar with. I had heard about this place from Tang before. He mentioned that this inn in Luoyang was usually quiet, so if our usual spot were full, we could stay here without drawing too much attention.
哎，两位客官，这是要打尖儿还是住店啊？
Why do they look like all suspicious? As we entered the inn, the waiter greeted us, saying, 2 rooms, 1 room, please.
哎，好嘞，开一间房，1晚是200文铜钱。
That's a lot. The waiter smiled and said to me, pushing over a small wooden tray. I took out 200 coins from my pouch and placed them on the tray, and the waiter quickly handed me a wooden token.
楼上第3间房，您上楼直走，便。
I took the wooden token from the waiter. Let's go. I gestured Mansui to follow me
娘爷，
upstairs.
等一会儿，我想问小二爷一个问题。
Suddenly, Mansui stopped me. She approached the waiter counter and popped her head up.
小客官，想问什么？
The innkeeper looking at Mansui, a smile forming on his face. He seems amused by being called waiter
小
master.
二爷，我们若是从外地来的，想逛一逛洛阳，有什么？
这位小客官，你可问对人了。我是土生土长的洛阳人，对这儿可太了解了。
I see.
您若是喜欢花，可以去城西南的花园看花；若是喜欢河呀，可以去东边的禅河转转；若是喜欢凑热闹，就在丽景门附近逛逛，那边呀有很多集市店铺。突然想起来，你们来得巧了，今天是特殊的日子。
Temple Fair?
听说王爷要庆祝喜事，特别允许这几天开夜市。这次夜市啊，听说不仅会请戏班子唱戏，还会放烟火呢。
Please, no, that shadow play. We're traumatized by that. We fell silent. We ignored the waiters talk in the temple fair and night market, the fireworks and theater performances. Our focus was on the one behind it all. Yeah, the Lord of the One running fair. He was the swine demon, a familiar face to us.
良爷，屯妖为什么要办庙会？
Master Liang. I guess it's for his birthday celebration. Those lamps were originally meant as offerings for his celebration. But who knows, it could also be some other happy occasion that got him into the mood to share the joy with the people. These rich and noble ones, they always got some happy event up their sleeves. I chuckled lightly, mocking the vast difference between people's
良
lives.
爷，你说屯妖会来逛庙会吗？
Nah, he's too full of himself and too cautious. Doubt he'll bother. And even if he does, there isn't much you can do. When the swine demon moves, he always got tough guards around him. I can't handle them, let alone you. Didn't I tell you already? Forget about seeking revenge. You're not dealing with some small-time landlord, it's a powerful swine demon lord. You, trying to go after him, doesn't work out, just throwing your life away. Doing the word to Mansui again. After that, we fell silent. We wandered the streets for a while, aimlessly just walking around. You want to go, we'll check out the temple fair tonight. I'm not up for anything else today. You got any places in mind you want to see? Yeah, well, I ask her. We got a couple of hours until sunset and the temple fair kicks off, so we need to find somewhere to kill the
我想
time.
去屯妖的王府前转转。
Oh, come on, stop your obsession with revenge. I want to take a stroll by the Swine Demon's palace. She looked at me, blinking, making the suggestion. Still not giving up on revenge, huh? Want to gather information? I frowned, giving her a glare. How stubborn can this lass be?
嗯，
I still don't know what lass
其
means.
实考虑过后，我觉得良爷说的有道理。我身体弱，又势单力薄，根本刺不了屯妖。最近，家人也不在梦里对我说话了，我可以不复仇了。
Yes, that's
只
the
是我
way.
还是有些好奇，想去屯妖住的地方看看。亲，
Oh, sorry. The lass bowed her head, mumbling to me. Looked like she wrestled with herself before speaking up. That's fine. Giving up revenge is fine. I'll take her to see then. Alright. Good that you figure out not to seek revenge, but you're quite gutsy. I'm like concerned if she will like pull a sneak attack without my knowledge. Wasn't it him who took your sister before? He always likes your type. Aren't you afraid his men might spot you and take you back to his palace?
有良爷护着我，所以我不怕。
Oh, come on, don't put the burden on me. Mansui looked up, smiling at me. Her words warmed my heart. Okay, I'll take you, but you hold my hand the whole way there. I sigh, planning to show her around outside the Swim Demon's palace. Swim Demon. Oh, it's a nice, While in the capital, I glimpsed of the Imperial Palace. The Swine Demon's mansion, almost a match for it. From Xian Street to cross streets north from the Courthouse Temple to the Lotus Temple. The walls have as tall as Luoyang city walls, enclosing it like an iron fortress. Gate, a bold red entrance flanked by two stone lions. One lion male and the other female carved from white marble, standing tall and fierce. Those lions, crafted so fine, they'll keep their color for
他
ages.
住的房子真气派呀！
It is grand. Man Sui held my hand, gazing at stone lions by the entrance. Yeah, it's almost as impressive as seeing the imperial palace in the capital.
你说他有多少粮食？
Not sure, but I've heard he owns half the fields of the central plains, with his people also collecting grain from nearby Shan region and Jin region. I replied casually. Finish up and move on. We can check out other places later. I called Mansui and took her hand, walking away. Place felt heavy. Just standing at again, I could imagine the fun he had inside those tall walls and the kids he slaughtered. I didn't want to stick around. As dusk approached, Mansui and I wandered aimlessly around. We visited some temples and Chom Tower. As we explored more of Luoyang, the streets grew emptier and our destinations more remote. Conversations faded as we walked, but the streets started bustling again. People were heading west and followed the crowd. The sun set behind the city walls, and we transitioned from daylight to dusk and finally into the night. The market to the west lit up the lanterns. Where's the lights? Where they set up their stalls, actors put up their stage. We walk around a bit more. Then why is this place don't have any lights? Where they shutter their goods, actors perform on the stage. There's no even people in here. Down below, merchants sold fabrics, makeup, and arts. I don't know what you're talking about. On stage, actors wore white faces and red faces, white faces. People bustled around chatting, pausing, buying goods, and watching plays. Where are they? These all empty streets. Most people let their fur came with their kin and pals, all cozy and close. They strolled hand in hand, chatting and laughing like peas in a pod. Though me and Mansui were hand in hand, there were a gap between us. Their merry chatter seemed far away, like us on the other side of the lanterns, while we were on the other side. Where are the lanterns? Seriously? We're ruthless wanderers. Such a lively place. We seemed like a stranger out of place. So without a word, we veered away from the hubbub into the quiet. As we walk on the dim-faced fog, solitary sound. Okay, now the background matches. And we changed the background. We walk from the busy temple fair in the west, calm Chan River in the east. Mansui crouched with the water, dipping her hand in. The breeze made petals fall from nearby trees, and the petals drifted onto the dark river. They were spinning like tiny lost boats. She gently guided them with her fingers, letting them float away. She looked at the drifting petals, lost in thought. They're playing in the water. They're watching her for a while, unable to figure out what she's doing. I awkwardly started a conversation.
在想爹爹。
You used to think about your sister the most, didn't you? How come you're thinking about your father now?
到洛
And
阳
why do you
后，
care?
便开始想爹爹了。
Asked, she answered. Oh yeah, they didn't know if her father is already dead, right? She just gone missing. Since arriving in Loyan, the last seems to have something on her mind, becoming much quieter. Could it be that she's disappointed in Luyang? For coming here, she thought Luyang was bustling. But now that she's here, she seems to think that this big city wasn't all that, and even though the temple affair was lively, she felt out of place.
我想问你一件事。
Asked away. Just as I was guessing her thoughts, she suddenly talked to me. What's up?
倘若你的仇人有一天变好了，不再杀人，彻底成好人了，若是这样的话，你觉得自己还该复仇吗？
Don't tell me I'm the sewing demon after all. Mansui didn't look at me. She dipped her hand in the river and asked me quietly. Well, this last thinking about this. Kids always seeing things so simply. So the swine demon threw a temple fair today, had a quick good time with the people, and now she doesn't see him as an enemy anymore. Are you sure that she's not talking about you? Bad guys stay bad, hard to change them. Even if the swine demon is throwing a temple fire today, seeing people laughing and joking around does not mean he's a good person. After all, there's more person he's killed, more families he's ruined, all stuff you aren't seeing here. Even if a bad guy turns over a new leaf, they can just wipe away their past crimes. But it really depends. If it were me, no matter how much the enemy changed, I still go after them for revenge. I spoke to Man Sui slowly, one word at a time. This time, I, who usually didn't say much, told her a lot. These words were probably all my thoughts. For many years, I often thought about something. If my parents didn't die from natural disaster but because of someone's wrongdoing, would I want revenge? I think I probably would. If my enemy was a specific person and not just an act of God, I had a clear target, thinking all day about killing them. Then I wouldn't have been haunted by the nightmare of that day for so many years, fearing it repeatedly, even the sight of fire. Oh, speaking of fire, didn't the waiter said there would be fireworks over Liang tonight? How come we haven't seen them? Getting late now, surprised they haven't lit up the sky with fireworks yet. Let's head back to the inn. Curfew hits soon, time to call it a night. I told Mansway. She nodded, stood up, and reached out her hand, wanting to hold mine.
抢钱！
Oh, come on. Stop this. Came a voice suddenly from behind us. You have no much for me. You have no much on me? I glanced at a noise horse. Two raggedy beggars stood near the dark river bank. They were shabby clothes, their faces grimy with coal dust. Both had crooked teeth. One brandished a notice cleaver, the other wooden stick. One had squint, the other swimming frequently. Skinny and short, they didn't seem too tough as a robbers.
愣着干啥？没听见俺们说要抢钱吗？快给啊！
No, I'll take your money.
对，哥说的对，不给钱，给这吃的也成。
He's not sure what his life's going on. Umagi in the city, aren't you scared I'll fetch the guards? I gave them a scornful look. He's crony too, they deserve to grasp their situation. I might not even have to unsheath my blade. Might as well have a chat, see what they're all about.
立足？你找不到的，现在立足都在庙会，这附近哪有立足？对，找不到。他们懒，报案也不管。
You're convincing. The two beggars move closer to me, looking south. What if I say no?
俺们人多，不想让你女儿看你挨打，就掏钱掏吃的。
Kingdom beggars raised his voice, almost shouting at me. Ha! Only two of you, and you think that's a crowd? I sneered.
妈的，真是欠世道！爹，俺们上！
The squinting beggar, fed up with my teasing, finally got mad. He lunged at me with the butter knife while the other one hesitated for a moment before also charging at me from the side. I scoffed. Stepping back with my left foot, please don't slip, I gave them the space. Squinting beggar, unable to stop in time, rushed past me. I lifted my foot and kicked him in the rear with a quick motion. Oh, I knocked him off balance, sending him tumbling to the ground with a hip.
不许打俺哥！
Stuttering beggar cited his expression and charged towards me on the one side. Despite holding his stick moments ago, he now dropped it on the ground and attempted to reach out to grab me. I raised my hand and grabbed the sheath of the blade. First, I dodged his lunge, then I tapped him on the back with his sheath. With a thud, he also fell to the ground, collapsing alongside his brother. The two of them lay piled on top of each other, one clutching his rear, the other clutching his back, grimacing and groaning. Seriously, you think you can rub with those moves? I scoffed, my foot pressing down on the fallen duo.
好汉，俺们不敢了，再也不敢了。是俺们错了，放了俺们吧。
Hey, at least they're self-aware, right? Two beggars huddled together, cowering. I wonder how we even got to attempt a robbery with such cowardly behavior. Say sorry and you're off? Not happening. If the guards busy at the temple, fair no one around, if I kill you here, who will know? I sneered, and I pretended to reach for my blade as I talked. Honestly, it was obvious these two weren't out to kill me from the get-go, so I wasn't planning to off them either. Maybe it was time to scare them, showing them who's the boss.
别杀我叔叔！别杀我爹爹！
Oh, what? Out of nowhere, I heard a girl crying out. I halted my blade, turning to see who it was. A young girl appeared from the shadow of the nearby trees. She seems about the same age as you were, maybe 5 or 6 years old. The girl was thin, with half her face smeared with soot, her hair all messy, and she wore a patched-up coarse hemp garment. But her eyes were strikingly clear. Stared at me with big round eyes, a mix of fear, anger, and frustration evident in her gaze.
你踩着我爹爹和叔叔了！我打你，打你！
No! You're wrong, girl! She grabbed the stick her uncle left behind and swung it at my leg. Her small strength made it flap over harmlessly like a tipsy wanderer. I kept quiet, watching her with a stern face. She swung the stick clumsily, crying. Tears rolled down her dirty, cold-stained cheeks, little pearls.
不打，不打，好汉，
No hit of the hero.
好汉饶命，饶命！妮儿不懂事儿，别跟他一般见识。
Okay, I won't. The squinting beggar, seeing his daughter hitting me repeatedly, seems worried that I might retaliate against the girl, started pleading with me. Seeing them in this state, I felt a strange sense of guilt. As if remembered they were the ones being robbed.
梁叶，
Mansway stood nearby, signaling me with her eyes. She probably hoped I let the beggars go. Seeing these two foolish beggars with a little girl care for my anger faded, and I felt like I could let them go. But is it just about letting them go? There's something else I need to do. Ooh! Wow, you're giving me this choice? Of course. I'm going to torture them.